Welcome to another morning broadcast. If this is your first time, we meet every weekday, 9 a.m. Eastern. If you enjoy the stream, please drop a like, subscribe, and share with others that can benefit from it. My approach is to identify highly volatile stocks that have robust momentum so that I can just scalp a little piece of that momentum. I'm looking for stocks that are moving 20, 30, 40, 50, 60%. So, and I employ a strategy where I focus on moving to what is hot. Lance Brightstein popularized the concept of the broken slot machine, and that's the approach that I use. Many professional traders use that strategy. So therefore, you'll see me focusing on the themes that are what I call in play. Like I may be focused on quantum one day, Bitcoin equities or crypto related equities. Another day, it could be biotech or China names, right? So if this is your first time watching this type of style, I generally will have 3 to 5 setups per day because I'm moving from one stock to another. So generally, I start with the big picture. I'll look at the macro indices, mega caps. I'll look at the IWM, so the Qs, SPY, US 30. I'll look at the small cap index as well, IWM, just so that I can have the big picture in mind, and I'll get a feel of what's going on in the market, if we are ranging, if it's a bullish market or if we're in a bear market. So I start off every day with that, and I'll begin the stream covering that as well. Drop me a comment. All right. Yeah, drop me a like, drop me some comments if you're enjoying. Let me know what you're looking at, and I'll cover it on the stream here. Okay, so we've been discussing indices and the likelihood of indices remaining in the range here. We had some catalyst that caused the drop several weeks in a row. Catalyst here, catalyst there, and then we had another catalyst that caused us to drop. Every time we would hit the top of these highs here, we'd conveniently have a catalyst that would cause a knee-jerk reaction. So we've been discussing since last Monday, the fact that every time we hit the support, we'd likely have some sort of reversion. Now, earnings, fundamentals, the macro backdrop for the indices has been very positive. So, but we're still, indices are, stocks have high valuation. So it's likely that we may continue to stay within the range unless we have some major catalyst that pushes us out. We're in a headline-driven environment, a lot of uncertainty with Trump tweeting, Trump and the tariffs, the trade wars. So I think we may remain a little stagnant here when it comes to the overall picture. Same with the Qs. Tech is having a little bit of challenges when it comes to earnings. You look at some of the companies like Google that reported, it dropped. AMD as well dropped. So this is further support that we may stay within that range. All right. GBP USD. I haven't looked at forex in a while. I'll look at some of the macro fundamentals for the USD, the US dollar, but I haven't looked at forex in a while. I'll have to open that chart up for you a little bit later. Okay. All right. Let's look at some independent names here. Oh, let's talk about IWM real quick. So IWM as well, similar situation. Okay. All right. So this morning, LIPO gave us some setups earlier this morning. If you're trading a small account and you want to catch moves with, if you want to catch some trades, the front side of the trades on the small caps, a lot of those moves happen pre-market. I have over 5 years worth of data, different scenarios, maybe about 350,000 lines of code, not lines, but lines of tickers and charts. And the pre-market is a great time for the small caps on the long side. Generally, a lot of those will curl over after the open. You may have some pops and they'll end up selling off. So if you're on the long side, pre-market is good. The open is good as well. But towards the midday, a lot of those will start to short. So if you're shorting, keep that in mind. Don't get caught on the front side trying to short too soon. All right, so LIPO, it gave us some scalps. It had a fresh news catalyst, granted FDA approval. We'll see if this continues to rise in the open. Okay, at the open. QNTM, this was one that we've had on the list. Yesterday, it ran up. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it on Monday as well. Yesterday, it rallied, broke the highs of the previous day. Now, pre-market has broke yesterday's high. So this was another one to be taking a look at. Volume is rushing into that one. Okay, APPS, Digital Turbine. This one has earnings. I had earnings. So it popped on earnings, gapped up yesterday, 35% on earnings. So we'll see this morning what we get. It's just ranged, and it's been pulling back here. So we'll see if the support level holds, if we reclaim VWAP, and if we can pull back up to yesterday's highs. All right. Another one that has a light catalyst is RNAS. So this one, phase one, typically phase one results, clinical results aren't as strong of a catalyst. We may have a pop, and then, we may be able to catch some momentum scalps. But generally those will end up selling off. I like to reiterate that these smaller, like small caps, these are companies that are barely making it. These are like they're using press releases to raise money. So typically the life cycle of these intraday is they may run up, we catch the long side, the front side of the move, and then they sell off. So a lot of people build a career based on the long or the short side. And there's different setups for each, but the life cycle of these is generally, price will just run up and then end up fading. Okay, so just keep that in mind if you're coming from, if you're looking at the mega cap indices, large cap indices, or if you're coming from, looking at something that's a higher priced stock, or looking at a forex pair. Generally, forex pairs don't move as much as these stocks will. So you can't marry a trade or marry a position and want to try to hold on, or try to hold on for a long time with hope, because the stock can go up 40% and then go all the way back down by the end of the day, by the close of the day, and even lower sometimes. So we just want to keep that in mind. All right. So PTON, this is another one I'm just keeping on watch. It's been in a downtrend here. It's back at support levels, and it had earnings earlier this morning, popped, pushed down, and then reclaimed VWAP. So want to see how this one moves. Has a higher float, but it's an interesting sign here of potential continuation on earnings. All right. Okay, so those are some stocks that have fresh news, that have a fresh catalyst, that are lower priced. At the end of the call, if you want me to take a look at some of the larger price stocks, I can. But generally, I'm covering small caps because most people are starting off with a small account. Okay. All right. What price is considered small caps? Typically, like between so penny stocks are actually up to $3. Like technically, I wouldn't really consider, like if it's $1 and up, I wouldn't consider it. So maybe like $1 to $20 can be considered small cap. But it generally comes down to the amount of capital you have and leverage, right? So you want to sit down and calculate how much you can afford. Okay. So most people ask like what broker I trade with, but they're asking so that they can find a broker. So generally, I would say if you're in the U.S., Schwab is a really good option, no commissions, and you can get a platform. If you make a small deposit, you can get a platform, you can get data, you can get you can trade with no commissions in the beginning. So that's generally a good package for most people. Something like Lightspeed, which I use, it has commissions, but it's faster. Right, so you're paying for some perks, faster execution, but you're going to pay per share, which, in my opinion, for the style that I'm trading, is a good trade-off. It's a good it's a nice price to pay. It's okay. It's a good price to pay for the perks. Okay. If you are outside of the U.S., you can look at something like Trade Zero or Interactive Brokers. And if you're already profitable and you're in the U.S. and you're looking to trade with a small account and you need some leverage, then you can go with something like Capital Markets Elite Group, which is very expensive though. It's a very expensive broker. But I'm not a financial advisor, so these aren't official recommendations. All right, good morning. Can you do a video, or if it's okay to share how you have your scanner set up? I have a video. Look up how to find stocks to trade on my channel, and you'll see it there. Okay. All right, let's run through a few of these. LAES, this one is hosting something called Quantum Day. So it's making its way, it's establishing itself as a quantum, as a company that will be providing certain services for the U.S., in the U.S. So the quantum sector, we've been watching RGTI, QUBT, QSI, right? IONQ. And this is one of those stocks. This one has its own fresh news. So it's gained my attention. Yesterday, it rose up, broke a few levels here. This 429, 430 level was at one point range, price broke and shorted. Then price ripped up yesterday to the upside, and now it's broken back above that level. So I'll be interested to see how that works out today. Another one is BlackBerry Unlimited. So this one has been trending up. So I want to see, like, it was ranging for, let's look at the daily. Okay. It broke out, it bottomed out, and then it started in December trending. It's been trending up, very tight, channel here, and then it's broken out. So if the volume comes in, then I'll be looking to potentially trade the dip, buy the dip here. All right. PDYN. Let me see. PDYN. Let's see. It's my son. 1 second, everybody. 1 second. Let's see. Okay. All right. So PDYN, yeah. There we go. Gerald, you say you've been getting some good moves on BB. Man, nice. It's nice. Yeah, that one it's really broken out. So PDYN started to bottom out yesterday. And if the volume comes in, I think it could be decent. Let's see, PDYN. Right now it's about 500K volume, flow to 16 million. So it did turn over. If you look at price action and the tape, if it's spotty, it may be hard to trade. It may have big spread if it's not enough volume. So keep that in mind. But here, I do like how it bottomed out, but just recognize where it is in a larger picture. Here, just pull back up to this level right here. So if it breaks, it could be a good sign. So just probably just look at it, look at trading it move to move. We don't have any. No headline. Okay. All right. If you're enjoying the stream, please drop a like, smash that like button, and share with others. Okay. What else are y'all looking at? GM, yeah, made profits pre-market on LIPO. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one this morning. Thanks, man. I'm in the UK, paper trading with Schwab currently, and been trying to decide whether to just fund it or go commission based with someone like IBKR. Appreciate the input. Yeah, I think, I say just act. Go with it. I think if you can go no commissions, and they don't enforce the PDT on you, because I think if you go with Schwab and you have a margin account, even though you're outside of the U.S., they'll enforce PDT. So that's something to consider. If you are getting money on BBAI, nice. Yeah, that one ran up yesterday. Definitely, that one ran up yesterday. So BBAI was the last one I was going to cover. I know it's an interesting one. I'll talk about it in just a minute. So that's good though. I'm glad you caught BBAI. We were looking at it in our call yesterday. Another one that I'm not trading personally, but I'm just going to mention it. ACB. There's certain trades, there's certain stocks I just don't trade, but ACB is one that really paid out yesterday. So ACB, and there are other stocks that are in the same sector. This one is a cannabis stock. So there are other stocks that are in this sector. So that's another one. So if you look at, I think it was BBAI, and there's just a few others that were related to that sector. I can't remember. It's slipping my mind, the tickers. Okay, let me just cover a few others that I have on watch. All right. UK as well enforced PDT. All right, so there's a few that I have on watch, but they aren't active right now. So I'm looking at, I have my eye on the quantum names. I'll just keep my eye on certain levels. I have alarms here. So the quantum names, I'm still looking at the energy names, SMR, OKLO. I'm still watching those, and I'm going to be setting alarms here so that if price comes to certain zones, then I'll be alarmed. The OKLOs of the world and others, they've just been running. It's been running up. So even though there isn't fresh news on them, they have been consistently trending. Some days you see a pause, you may have sideways movement, and then you have a breakout, right? So this is one that definitely I'll take a look at that sector. So when I say it's not active, it's just I'm looking for levels to be retested on these. There isn't a fresh news catalyst, so primarily trading this off of technicals and levels. Okay, so energy names, the quantum names, and then I have Bitcoin or crypto related stocks in my back pocket. So just looking at levels to be retested And if Bitcoin is to make a run, or we have some crypto related, like what I'm looking for is this. I'm looking for this move to happen. I'm looking for a major drop and then mean reversion, right? But when it's inside of a range, then typically the crypto related stocks that I want to trade, they won't be in play, right? Because I don't want to sit and try to trade in the range. I want these moves here. Like I want broad moves, multiple percent moves, wide range. Okay. Young King wants to trade too. Yeah. Yeah, my son, yeah, he has his own YouTube channel. I'm gonna drop it. I told him I'll try to help him get to 1,000, but he does like gaming, But definitely we have to teach our children young. If you have children, you have to teach them young. Do you trade options? No. CGC was a ticker you thinking of? Oh yeah, money. You're right. CGC was it. Do they pay different depending on the sector? No. Actually, they don't pay different. It depends on like your stop sizes and how much you make depends on the price of the stock. And we go from sector to sector just depending on what's hot, right? So if AI is in play, that means you will get large moves at AI. In this example, cannabis, for example, is running up. Typically, I'd run over and trade whatever sector is hot so that I can, like if you just look at ACB, for example, look at this. Look at this move here. This is a 50% move from the low here. It's hard not to make money when you have something moving like that, right? So that's the methodology that I use. Is I want to catch these types of moves that have aggressive buying on the tape, high volume, and a directional skew, right? Asymmetrical move. When it's like this, I'm not interested. But once this sector is hot, everybody starts to pile into these types of names, whatever sector it is, then that's where I want to be. Okay, all right. I think that's it for me. I hope you all have a great day. Hope your week has been going fairly well. Just remember, as I always say, stick to your playbook. If you don't have one, you're shooting in the dark. So set your playbook up, back test it, make sure you have data to prove that you have edge. And if you aren't in a trading pod, if you're trading alone, try to form one or join one. That would be my recommendation. No more US 30 trading for you. I trade indices when we have directional moves that I can predict. You can't ever 100% predict any moves. But what I mean by predictable moves, there's some sort of catalyst. I can see that there's higher volume. Sometimes US 30 becomes there's a higher degree of randomness on indices at times because there's so many different stocks moving, right? But if I focus on one stock, I can see that one stock has catalyst. It has higher than normal volume. So, and I can read its tape. The tape will show that it has aggressive buying. So there are several variables that I can read on an individual stock that gives me a greater level of predictability versus trading the indices. So I'll trade US 30 or some of those indices when there's a major catalyst like the election, or geopolitical issues that have hit, or we had Trump's tariff announcement. When he announced the tariffs on Sunday, boom, we had a drop, and that was a clear move back to support with maybe 60-70% probability that we would go back to the mean, right? So that's a trade that's easy to the level of edge for me and the style that I trade rises. Okay, all right. So GBP USD. You know what? I'm gonna take a look at GU for you. I'm gonna take a look at GU and UJ for you. I have not touched forex in a minute. I'm gonna do that on the stream just for you, and then we're gonna cut out and get to it. All right, pound dollar. Typically, for me, when I trade these, I know what's going on with the economies. So we're trending down. We move back to these support levels. All right. My question to you is, what is What's going on, between the two economies? That's the question. You're looking at relative strength, basically. Even though we have this, price action here, it's dropped back to this level. Are we going to push and continue? There's a continuation, or will it pull up higher? So I can't offer much more than that because when I trade forex, I use macro fundamentals. USD JPY, similar. Ooh, yeah, this one is just the yen has been spiking, so keep that in mind, right? Just look at what's going on, and with the yen and the US dollar, and use the relative strength theory. We're on support here. If we pull back up, any pops are we're going to continue to drop there. It's a major thing. You don't want to be selling against something that's obvious based on what's happening on the macro front. Okay. All right. Let's drop. Hope y'all have a great day. Going to jump over to our ProfitX Zoom, and we'll be back with you all tomorrow. Thanks for supporting the stream. Please smash that like button. Later.